Hi, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to address some of the feedback that I've been getting on my channel about moving to Mexico, as well as share some of the other areas of Mexico that we are considering moving to besides La Paz. I haven't been making content on this channel for very long. It's only been a couple of months actually. I like that it's growing organically with real people liking and subscribing and providing great feedback. And I really do appreciate your feedback. I love the engagement from you. I love hearing about your personal experiences of living in Mexico because Dawn and I, we don't have that perspective just yet. And it makes us excited for things to come. I can only speak about our experiences of preparing to move, what our concerns are, what we're excited about, what we'll miss when we leave Florida, what our logistical challenges will be with moving our pets and our stuff, and what we've gone through so far to obtain temporary residency. And I've talked about that in all of my other videos, so please check them out. This channel is a way for my husband and I to document our journey of making a big life change and moving to a country we've never visited before, which will change in March when we complete our canje. We want to be able to look back on this period of our life, as well as documenting everything that we're going through to prepare for this move. And it might just help others who are thinking of making this move as well. Although their experience, it may not be the same as ours. And I see this channel evolving from preparing for our move to Mexico to getting settled in Mexico and our daily experiences and our routines of living and exploring our new home country. And what we experience may not be what others have experienced or are currently experiencing. We've already seen that in our visit to the Orlando consulate back in December. What we experienced of not being able to prove economic solvency based on our 401k account balances like we thought we could, like we read about, and like others have done through other consulates in the United States. It just proves that we all have different experiences. And we may find that when we do make the move to Mexico in 2026, that some of our concerns, our fears, our expectations, they may not match up to the reality of living there. Some things might be harder than we anticipated, and we might be pleasantly surprised by other aspects we were concerned about initially. Because I can only make so much content about our move to Mexico, my channel is also branching out into my daily life here in Tampa. We still have many months to go before we make the big move. We're both still working and living our lives here. And I like sharing glimpses of our life, some of which may appeal to those that came here for Mexico content, and maybe to others who might be here to see what it's like to live in Tampa. Maybe you're thinking of a move from a colder climate down to Florida. I love almost every aspect of my home state, and I'm happy to pepper my Mexico content with other passions such as cooking, going to concerts, exploring events in the Bay Area, my debt journey, and a little bit of plus-sized and luxury content kind of sprinkled into the mix. And from the engagement that I'm getting, you all seem to be liking that I'm branching out as well. Maybe you're here because you too are looking to downsize and declutter. It's a daunting task to try and part with things that you've had for 20 years or more like we have. Or maybe you found me because you too are going through menopause and have some of the same symptoms that I have been experiencing. Or, as one of my viewers mentioned, has special ties to the Victorian Cliff House painting behind me that has followed my husband and I around for 20 years from Florida to Connecticut and back again. We have no special ties to this painting, and my husband bought it from a thrift store, but we both just love it. I talked in one of my other videos about our concerns and our fears of moving to Mexico, one of which was finding the right balance for our needs. Until we actually visit La Paz, we won't know if it's right for us. Just like when we moved to New England, we didn't know if Connecticut would be right for us either. We'd never been there before. We just knew that we wanted to be close to New York City. That was our goal. that we wanted to experience living there in our 30s and 40s. We took a chance and we discovered that we loved the landscape of Connecticut. We loved that we could take the Metro North train and be in Manhattan in 90 minutes whenever we wanted. And I loved that I made a lasting friendship from having just lived there a few short years. And while I personally loved the snow, because Tampa may see flurries like every 100 years or so, we didn't like the inconveniences that it brought. The slippery ice. Don't try to go for a walk nightly with black ice while wearing tennis shoes or sneakers. You might just crack your ass like I did. I also knew nothing about sump pumps when we moved up there. We don't see a lot of basements in Florida. You'll hit water if you try to dig deep here in Florida, but that is another story. We didn't care for the darkness and the stillness at 4 p.m. during the winter, the 3-month summers where you felt like you had to cram everything in before the weather turned cold again. And one summer it rained for 3 weeks straight, which cuts down the time that we had to enjoy Rhode Island beaches and summer festivals and activities to just 2 months. My nephew was born while we lived in Connecticut. I wasn't there for his birth. And the reality of being able to hop on a train anytime we want to go into New York City actually ended up being maybe 4 times a year that we went. It was expensive, and it almost always seemed to rain when we went into the city. But we savor the memories that we made up there. Macy's Day Parade, New Year's Eve, and watching the ball drop, having tea at the Russian Tea Room, going apple picking at Connecticut orchards, or cutting down Christmas trees at Jones Family Farms. But after 4.5 years, we felt the pull back to Florida. And we may get to Mexico, live there a few years, like other people do from other countries, and once again feel that pull back to the United States, or maybe a different part of Mexico, or another country. Or we may find that what appealed to us in La Paz just isn't suiting our lifestyle as we get older. We may not want to go to the beach as much as we initially thought. We have beaches here and we barely go because it's a pain in the ass to get over there. The dry climate we're seeking in La Paz might be too brutally hot for us in the summer, may not be the right fit. So that's why I want to explore other areas that may be a better fit for us. It's one of the reasons why we chose to complete our canje in Cancun. Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and other areas in the state of Quintana Roo are on our list of possible places that we might want to live when we move to Mexico. We may want a soft landing when we get to Mexico. So California-like or dry climate might be too much of a shock to our system when we're so used to humid weather living in Florida. As much as I love the West Coast, I'm an East Coast girl. Being closer to Florida, where I can get back quicker to family, might be better for us in the beginning. But moving to Quintana Roo will pose a whole new set of challenges. We wouldn't be able to bring as much stuff with us as we're wanting to. We'd have to fly our pets in stages or hire a pet relocation service. And some initial research on that indicates that it could be up to $2,500 per pet, and we have 5 pets. We wouldn't have a car unless we bought one in Mexico. So is Quintana Roo right for us? I don't know yet, but we'll have a better idea in March when we go. Another possibility is back on the West Coast in Baja California, but closer to the US border. Again, for a softer landing in the beginning. We're looking at Ensenada, and it checks off a lot of boxes on our list, one of which is the proximity to San Diego. Getting back to the United States in 2 hours by car is very appealing to me. Having smooth roads and less checkpoints, also very appealing to us. It definitely opens up a lot more possibilities of being only a 2-hour drive back to the United States rather than a 2-day drive from La Paz, such as maybe renting a U-Haul for some of our stuff that we want to bring cross-country and placing it in a storage unit in San Diego until we get settled. And then we can make a trip or two up to get the rest of our stuff. Or maybe hire a moving service to bring it down from San Diego to Ensenada. There's also the possibility of being able to visit the United States more often, for things that we may be missing. And I'm looking at you, Trader Joe's. There's 3 other options that my husband and I have discussed, but we haven't discussed it in great detail, and they also come with their own set of challenges. And I'm probably going to butcher the names. Let me know if I am. And that's Merida, Mazatlan, and San Miguel de Allende. Let me know in the comments where else we should consider looking and what other content you'd like to see on my channel. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Hasta luego, friends.